Well, another very wonderful, beautiful, lovely day in the city of Lagos, Nigeria, West Africa, as we meet a great man, a very, very unique Nigerian, and an elder statesman in all ramification. He is a man who has contributed to the GDP of Nigeria in terms of business, innovation, especially in the telecommunication industry. He has seen it all. He was one of those who started the Nigerian Telecommunications Limited many years ago, and he could conveniently be called the godfather of modern day telecommunication business in Nigeria, especially the privatized telecommunication sector. He has played his role, but right now he's another statesman in his own ramification, in his own rights, and he's someone that a whole lot of young business people are looking up to, and a lot of politicians are also taking knowledge, ideas, and innovation from. I am talking of the Gbongan, Osun State, southwestern Nigeria born Chief Ezekiel Olasunmoye Fatoye, one of the founding chairman or founding executive of the defunct Multilinks Limited in Nigeria, and the godfather of modern day Nigerian telecommunication business. We are very privileged. We've been looking for him in the last 2 years, and by the special grace of God, today his aide have given us the chance to meet him in his humble abode somewhere in Victoria Garden City, Lagos, Nigeria. With total honor, sir, we are very, very humble to be with you today. It has not been easy coming by getting this very wonderful opportunity to talk to you. It has been a very Herculean task. We've been looking for you in the last 2 years, and most of the time we either get report that you are in London, and some of the time it's either you are in your local community in Gbongan to relate to the local people, and it has always been on, off, on, off. So let me start by asking you that how do you feel with the atmosphere, the political atmosphere of Nigeria today, as an elder statesman, as a man who have seen it all? Are you happy, and how do you feel today, sir?
Thank you very much. Looking at Nigeria is not a very easy place to rule, because there is nobody that will rule that they don't have one complaint or the other. I'm sure somebody told me once that if Jesus Christ comes back, people will have complaints. They will have complaints. The whole complaint was that it's not because it's a son of God and so on and so forth. But if he comes back to come to this Nigeria, people will say, I don't know, he hasn't done well. He did this. Either it's tribalistic or it's religion, bigotry or whatever. They will call him anything. That is the problem with Nigeria. I will just read it now. How do we get here?
Yes, I was going to ask you, how do we get here?
Well, I was reading the comment by Chief Akejide, the first Minister of Education in 1959 till the coup of 1966. Then he became Minister again under Shagari as the Minister of Justice and Attorney General. And he was making, based on he went back to the time of Lugard. How did we get to this problem? What really happened to this country? And the conclusion was that the problem is created by the colonial master, the British. They came here, they found that the South was so educated, so enlightened, and that the North, in fact, I think that was Sokoto that they conquered last. They extended their distance to last. I just read it not quite 10 minutes ago, and I thought it's good to look at our history, to look back and have we got to this place. They have created a top-heavy. They made the North so big, and the southwest and southeast so small. It's deliberate.
How do you mean deliberate, sir? They made it deliberate
so that you see, because the South they see them as educated. The Yorubas and the Igbos were educated, and the North was not so educated as the rest. And that if they don't do that, this will they will suppress the North. Not to help the North, they made it not so big. Even the first censor was doctored in such a way as to favor the North, and that has been a problem. That when they started, Action Group was West Party, and NCNC was supposed to be Eastern Party, but they were all looking outward. But when you go to the north, you have NPC, which is Northern People's Congress, or NEPU, which is Northern Element Progressive Union. That was the beginning of a crisis.
But why did we see it?
Well, you cannot talk in the colonial day. Six with what? You want to fight? You want to fight them? This is what they want. It's their interest that they are looking after, not the interest of the people. They are interest of the British people that they are looking after in the country. So as to bring goods from the north and to make sure that north will control the rest. And you can see that the education parity is always there. The people, there are many people down south. Before, if somebody went to secondary school in the north, he will get a job, because the issue of quota system, balancing, and so on and so forth came in. People have to be suppressed not to come to the level of this of the other people, the northern people. Yeah. That is where we started. That is where our political crisis started from. Then, when we got independence, before independence, we have that law. When we got independence, it was they knew that it was made in such a way that even if we combine the southern parties, you cannot rule the country. You cannot take over the country. We have to consider they have to be there and probably get a weaker person here to join them, and they will rule the country. And there's been structure that they will do the country forever. And there's little or nothing we can do unless one day we say, okay, we want to restructure Nigeria. If the restructuring issue comes up, then we can get out of the situation.
No. I was coming to restructuring, because restructuring has been like a sing-song in the last 2 years. It was a former vice president, Atiku Abubakar, that first said it out during a lecture in Abuja, and after that, everybody started talking about it. And I think under President Jonathan, there was a national conference whereby there are a lot of people, both political leaders of thought, artisans, lawyers, everybody came, and the report is out. That was even from the one of Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. And since President Buhari came into power, people have been saying, please implement this conference, the report, implement it, that it will give us something near to restructuring and all that. So, but what do you think restructuring mean? And do you think the president is shying away from that? And if we do restructuring, what do you think the result is going to be like, sir?
The problem we have now is that we are afraid of our shadow. We are afraid that something will happen if we have the system we import from America, the constitution we import from America, the present government, the set of government now we have is too expensive for us to run.
Presidential system?
The presidential system is too expensive. We have two House of Rep, House of Assembly, in a Senate, and House of Representatives. Why do we have two? Why don't we have one? I mean, the amount of money we are spending on the two sides is so colossal. Then we now come to the state again. The states, we have 36 states. Most of those states are very unviable. They cannot even run on themselves. And the situation now is that we are not running the federal government. We are running a unitary government.
Unitary government?
Yes. Because if we are doing federation, each unit of the federation should be semi-independent. And if that is the case, you will find that the pressure at the center will not be too much. They should decentralize in such a way that they devolve power to the states. In fact, my hope is that if we want to restructure, we restructure according to the structure we have at the moment. We have the structure already. We have south-south, southwest, southeast, north central, northeast, northwest. The country is restructured. If we operate on that level, then it will be very, very interesting. In fact, it reminds me of when they were interviewing this minister, the lawyer, people's lawyer.
Is it First Scam?
Okay. When he was in the National Assembly for screening, he said, even our legal system has a lot of problems. Everything is kept to the
Minister of Justice or Attorney General?
Attorney General, yes.
Okay, Attorney General.
We carry this to the apex of the court.
That's Supreme Court.
Supreme Court. Everything, the workload of the Supreme Court is so much. Every small thing people will appeal to Supreme Court. It suggested that we should design in such a way that each region, as I said, will have its own Supreme Court, so that they will before anything goes to the top Supreme Court, it will have been finished at the level of the Supreme Court at the regional level. That would have been the best approach for us. That will reduce costs. That will reduce the workload of Supreme Court. And I thought that was a very brilliant contribution, and that the government should not miss that opportunity to do it.
You spoke about the rep that we have two House of Assembly, the National, the House of Representatives and the Senate. And in this newspaper, you are talking about 30,000 minimum wage. The newspaper said 469 senators, reps to pocket 191,954 civil servant monthly salaries. You know that they earn more than the US, UK lawyers. And when a House of Rep member, a senator is earning like 15 million, and a House of Rep member is earning like 13.5 million. That is minus allowances and some other things that they do. You know, so how are you going to analyze that? What do you think that talk about?
We have 109 senators, and then we have 300 and something.
360.
In fact, if we remove senators and let the National Assembly, let the House of Rep do every other thing, because they are doing it, the cases, they transfer one thing to the other. Why do we have to have that? But if you want to do this, what I'm suggesting, it's not this people that will do it, because you find that they are interested. If you ask the National Assembly to now restructure, yes, they will be thinking of their own self. Do I write myself out of office? That is what they will feel like.
So who is going to now take them on now, since they are the one that's they're supposed to be the representative of the people? And if our representative cannot come to our level, if people are still complaining that 30,000 naira is too much and that is the minimum wage, and our representatives are collecting something huge, who is going to now regularize the system?
You made the suggestion that they have looked at the report of some committee set up to look at the country. Yes. I think that report includes the structured something.
That's Jonathan's confirm.
I think for Jonathan, we have it before. We have it at the time of Abacha. We have it before Abacha. We have been Obasanjo form done. Everybody decided we've been talking the same thing. All these documents should be brought together.
Are you not thinking that most of these documents have gathered dust where they are keeping them now? Because if they can put them in the library and nobody is even utilizing the suggestion, don't you think that what they call it, cockroaches and all the rest will have been eating on those documents?
What the government could do, the present government could do at times, if they want to help this country, is to get those documents put together, set up a committee, a small committee to review them and come out with a summary. And I'm sure in that summary, all these things we are talking about with everybody just talking this and that. But we now, and if they like, they can put a summary into referendum. Okay. Let us vote for it. I mean, well, in Britain, we are voting for whether to stay in Europe or not to stay in Europe.
Yes.
So
it's ongoing.
And it's ongoing. So why can't we do the same thing? Because to my mind, we cannot continue the way we are continuing, because we cannot even, we don't have money. We don't have money to do projects. We are paying everything on recurrent. The majority of the money we get, we cannot continue. I can't go and borrow money with the market to pay salary. That will be very, very useless. But if we can look at it that way, let us have a memorandum. do we want restructuring? And if we want restructuring, in what way do we want it?
Okay. Okay.
That will come, and there is nothing that is perfect.
Yes, sir.
It can be refined as we go along, retuned, until we get the final thing out that will help everybody.
Sir, honestly, when you look at the problem in Nigeria now, being an elder statesman, what do you think is our problem? Do you think our problem is spiritual, or it is just a problem of misunderstanding of tribes? I mean,
when I come to think about it, I think the problem has been created by those who ruled us before. They brought religion here. What do you call it? The Muslim. The Arab was Muslim to Nigeria, Islam to Nigeria. The English people brought religion to Nigeria, and the major problem we have today is two religion fighting themselves. The Christians believe that they are even greater than they even go back to the UK to teach the people who brought Christianity here, to teach them how to do it.
Yes.
That we know more than the people. In fact, people are even say that Jesus is from Nigeria, not from Bethlehem or not from Jerusalem area. So that is the problem. That's one of the major problems we have. Otherwise, this region has created disparity between us. It has created friction between the north and south, even between. If we look at Muslim today,
yes, sir,
in the southwest, you have a family that's half of them are Muslim. My son could be a Christian, and my daughter could be a Muslim.
Yes.
And that happens here, and it's free.
Conveniently.
It is not the same thing in the north.
Yeah.
Look at the Shia, what do you call it?
The Shiites and the other one.
The
Sunni.
And the two groups in the north.
Yeah, the Shiites and the Sunni Muslim.
And one is going to Saudi Arabia, the other one is for Iran. And the one in Iran say they don't even believe in government. They are not. So where do we start?
About the Shiites.
Where do we start? You can see what region has created already. The problem in the northeast is religious problem. So that is, if you say a Christian, kill him. If you see this thing, all those are not necessary. That is what is created by this about our people. They realized all these facts, and they have seen 100 years time, and in fact, that is one thing that I enjoy with the British people. Yeah. Some people are planning for 20 years. As we went for, we say, future 2020, we are 2030, yes, we are 20. They have done it. They have brought the 100 years to date. By the time they put it on the paper, they have already known what will happen 100 years time.
You mean the British?
The European. So that is one of the problems we have. I mean, when you're talking about religion, do you know that in England today, majority of the mayors, city mayors, yes, sir, are Muslims.
Can't believe this. In England?
In England.
Majority of them are.
This is where they practice Sharia in England. In fact, London has about not less than 300 mosques. When I was a student in Britain, there was only one mosque in Britain, and that was in London at Baker Street. But now, all the churches have been taken over by Muslims. They buy it and turn it to mosque.
Is that not a threat?
Okay. Why is it that when the Queen of England is supposed to be the head of Anglican Church?
Oh, you mean the Queen of England? Yeah. Supposed to be the head of the English Church, Anglican Church? Anglican
Church, everywhere, even in Nigeria, Anglican Church is the head of Anglican Church. Created Anglican Church because of, if we look back to the history, because of the fight between Henry VIII and the Spain, the Roman people.
Yeah, the Roman Catholic.
Yeah, when he wanted to divorce his wife, they say he cannot divorce.
He wanted to marry a second wife.
So he formed his own church. And now he was able to pronounced himself as the person to divorce his wife.
Yes.
That is how Anglican came up.
Yes. Yes, sir.
And he supposed, I remember the last Christmas, that's the Ramadan period, the Queen herself went to the Muslim community to breakfast. So that shows how tolerant they have gone. Why we here are not.
We're just heating up everything.
We are just fighting on. We are just fighting. We are becoming more than. We are holier than the Pope. I mean, that is the truth.
I'm born again.
Yes, we are not born again. We can't do this. I mean, you find that the people who brought the religion here, they don't even think of that. They don't think like that anymore. I mean, look at. And as I see it, I was doing some calculation. I say, in the next maybe 1,500 years, Britain will be taken over by, in fact, many of the big European countries will be taken over by the Arabs, because now the Arab, they opened door for about 2 million or so many million Arabs who are displaced as a war because of the war in Syria and Yemen to come to Europe without any problem as refugees. Now each of them will come. They come with their 4 wives. They will come with the 4 wives will bear about 40 children. But by the time you put all the population will just be increasing until at such a time when they will talk. I mean, if a white man marries, if he marries at all, he will not have a wife. He will not have a child. They will have one. If they have one child, they say okay. Or they have 2 children, they're okay. Not as many. Then by attrition, you will find that the Arabs will grow in population and become more than the people they had. They don't realize it at the moment.
The British don't realize this. You mean British might even end up like Turkey too?
Yes. I mean, look at Turkey today. Turkey was a Christian country.
Constantinople.
Constantinople in the Bible. Now it has become, even Iraq was a Christian area before. Most of the things that they are talking about were found in Iraq in the Bible. But now they are all tough Muslim countries. And you know that the fight between Muslim country and the Christian country has been there for too long a time. That's from the beginning, as from 70 something. I mean, from if you look at the history, from the time that Muslims started 700 something AD, the fight has been on until they conquered. They drove away the Jews from Israel, and they became homeless. And they conquered. They nearly got to Italy before they stopped. Before Ottoman was stopped. So the problem has been there for too long a time, and we are not careful. That will happen in Britain in future.
To the Great Britain.
Great Britain, including Germany in future.
In fact, the royal prince even went to have breakfast with them the other day too. The guy.
That's Harry.
Yes, sir. Yes, Harry. He went to have breakfast during the last Ramadan, and you are not telling me that even the queen also went to have. Yes. So that means that they are trying to understand.
She has to cover her head.
So that they won't see.
Their custom.
Okay, their custom. Just to honor the Islamic custom.
Yes. So that's. If we look at it that way and we say, okay, this is what is going to happen in future, there's no reason why we should have friction. We should live together. Take religion, be religion. If we are going to church, go to church. If we want to believe in Christ. No, don't force B to join A and A to join B. Let it be, and let it be in peace, not in rancor, in fighting, shooting, and killing yourselves and cutting people's head.
So don't be fanatical.
Don't be fanatical. I said there are some places in London and UK today. You cannot play music, Christian music, without being arrested.
In UK?
UK.
You can't play Christian music?
Area where they practice Sharia is there. Fully Sharia. No go area. It's just for Sharia. In Britain, in London.
In this same London, because I'm not familiar with London. You studied there.
In today's UK.
Today, this contemporary UK.
There are many areas where they're practicing Sharia. We want to the Sharia is coming to Southwest. We don't want Sharia. We fight. When people brought religion to you, I say, okay, we are tolerant. Let them practice their Sharia.
Have you look at the issue of this religion as an open gate to what they call it, imperialism, economic imperialism, and maybe even economic protectionism? If you look at China, you see the way they were able to get out religion. They practice their own Hindu. They get out the social influences of the Western social influences, and they even get out the what they call it, language. Okay. You have to speak language. So and their technology is advancing.
The way I look at it is this: when the white man comes here, he comes with his religion. He comes with technology. He comes with all sorts of things. We accept everything here, including their language, their culture. We throw away our own culture. We accept their religion. We just we throw away. We accept not. Every other thing is we throw away. If you go to India today, India does not they only accept the language. In fact, the technology. They don't accept their language. They don't even some people they just only people speak English. They don't accept their culture. They don't accept their religion. If you see any Indian that is a Christian or is a Muslim, they are in the minority. The Hindus are more. If you go to China, the same thing. You find that where you look at where they are not, where they are practicing religion, where they don't have religious tolerance, is where you have advancement.
Yes.
So this is a problem we have.
But that's a paradox, really, indeed. I mean, China didn't take their religion. They only took their technology. They didn't take their social lifestyle. They abide by their own social lifestyle, Kung Fu and all the rest. And it seems that there's development. The same thing with India, where you are very familiar with, you know. So what do you think? Is there something that is missing that we are not getting here? Why should we here take their religion, take their lifestyle, and we are not advanced technologically?
We accept their technology, but we are not innovative. We accept their technology. We bring telephone, Apple here, Apple 10, we buy it. Apple 20, they go any new technology we accept. But we don't manufacture them.
We don't manufacture them. That's a setback.
We don't manufacture anything. I remember where there was a factory, Siemens factory in Nigeria to manufacture cable for Nigeria because we have a big market. They said the factory, I think it was in Kano then. They set up the factory, but when you want to set up factory in our country, you have to provide accommodation, you have to provide your own electricity, you have to provide your own water, basic structure, road, everything. By the time you add all those costs into this, it becomes expensive. Then it's not competitive anymore. You know what they did? When they fired, they carried that factory to carry it to South Africa. And so we are now buying cable from them to Nigeria, from the same factory that was supposed to be here.
That's supposed to be in Kano.
Yes. So that is the bane of our problem.
So from what you've said now, let's go to the issue of corruption. Corruption is another thing that appears to have dismantled our greatness to some extent. Religion is one of it. Religious corruption, then political corruption. I mean, there was a time the founder of Virgin Atlantic, Richard Branson, said he couldn't run his business in Nigeria because politicians was asking for too much, asking for all sort of money. They would bring their girlfriend and tell him to fly them abroad on what they call that in PR and all that, and there was no enhancement for his business. Everything was about bring. So how did we get it wrong?
Corruption is not peculiar to Nigeria, to be sincere.
You said corruption
is not peculiar to Nigeria. I know that the system allows corruption. I'll give you an example. When you are in London, you are abroad, if they say everybody should queue, even if you are a minister, you will queue with everybody. When you get to the airport here, everybody will be rushing, push, as if You want to show who is powerful, who can do anything. You just go, big man, you come forward, and the ordinance is destroyed because our system allows it. If the system is such a way that you make corruption in China, if you are corrupt, you can you get it? Death sentence. So you be afraid to even do something that is dangerous. I mean, when they said, okay, and there are some countries they say don't carry drug to that place. So if you carry drug there, you are not a dead man. They catch you. You carry drug to Saudi Arabia, you are dead. If you carry drug to Malaysia, it's death sentence. I mean, you can the number of people are. You see, all the system gives room for corruption, and besides, it is some people say it's poverty that leads to corruption. Well, I don't really know because I don't know what a human being will satisfied with. If we are contented with what we have, say we are a civil servant, you are able to build a house which you are going to live for the rest of your life. You are able to maybe a duplex, and the other side of it you collect money from there to augment your pension. Then you will live comfortably without any problem. I always talk about Britain. If you take Britain for instance, you retire at the age of 55 or 60.
Yes, sir.
You are 60, you are a senior citizen. You have free transportation. If you want to go anywhere, you enter any bus, it's free. You enter any train, it's free. They will give you accommodation, it's automatic. You cannot sleep outside. So many things, so many amenities are given. There are many Nigerians today who have worked in Britain before. Their pension is waiting for them in Britain. If they have not collected it.
Are you sure?
I'm telling you.
In Nigeria here?
Nigerians anybody that has worked for and they qualify for pension in Britain, you can pick your pension anytime. In fact, most of the people left Britain are in Nigeria. They are now living on those pensions. If they are giving you £500 a month, when you convert £500 to naira, you know how much it is. And whether you come or not, the money is paid to your bank. In Nigeria now, people they will see that money, or the man is dead, or they won't give anybody.
The man, most of them even collapse on the key.
Yes, that is the fault of corruption. That is the fault of our system. Unless we make corruption, we put a very strict penalty. When they said Buri was corrupt, and they said he stole money, he went to court in Nigeria, he got free. They got to London, they arrested him and sent him to jail.
That's Ibori.
Yeah, he came back. Everybody received him with pageantry. They everybody dancing, and that's it. I mean, the system creates the room for it. If you look at this boy, they say it's in Forbes. This is a young man that has been.
The Invictus, yes. the Igbo guy, Obinekwe, that they say is the richest, one of the richest guys.
I saw a video where he was spending like stupid man. He was spraying money. He was paying dollars as if it is a piece of paper. And the following day, now they arrested him. They say he defrauded, he did this and that. You see, that is the system allows it. Look at, we're talking of drugs. Nigeria does not produce drugs, but Nigeria has become a major drug center. People carry drug through Nigeria to other countries, and okay, that is one of the reasons. All right, there is so much. When I'm talking of corruption, we're talking of these Yahoo boys and those who carry. All right, and you didn't save money. You didn't work in Nigeria. Somebody writes you to say, okay, I have about for Abacha's money, I have about 30 million naira. They don't government. I want to put that money in your account, and I will save you. I will keep money. Then we can share it when the money gets to you. Say okay, you accept. This is big money that is coming. Now he says, okay, that money I need 100,000 to work on the authorities so that money can be transferred. 100,000. Yeah, you may collect $100,000 from your 5 people like that. You've made 500,000. So that is what. There was a case. I remember was in NITEL. There was a case of in those days, they normally write letters. There was no, either they sell fax or write letter. There was no subscription as we have today. This man came from London to collect money that is not his. These people collected him at the airport and took him to Onitsha. And then asked him to call in his Onitsha. No, those days it's not automatic. You have to call operator to be able to link to this thing.
Yes, from the United States.
So the commissioner in charge of Interpol came to me, said they have this problem. They don't even know where the man is, but they know that they are making call. So we eventually traced him. We found that the call was coming from. He came here and they said, okay, they have taken him. He's been telling the wife, transfer some money to some account. Whereas otherwise they will kill me here. And
that's kidnapping by extension.
So we waited. So when we traced the call, to Onitsha. When we got to, well, I told the commissioner of police, I said, if you want to get this from, I know it's wired line, you can easily trace where the call is going to. If you want to catch these people, don't tell the policeman in Onitsha that you are coming, because these people they will tell them and they might even kill the man. So he set mine up from here to pick them on Onitsha, and he just picked the 6 of them. Now,
just like that.
And when they picked them now, the man came. They now said the man was going to go back. He asked the policeman to bring him to where I was living in Nigeria then. They brought him. I said, look, you are lucky. Why do you didn't work? They said they want to give you money. Why do you come? You have to sign a contract somewhere before you begin to say, oh, this is what I've done. You have not done any job. You say you want to go and pick money. As if they pick money on the road here. And I do not blame our boys too much. I blame the other people who are greedy, because it's sign of greediness. If you write me and I don't reply you won't talk to me, you won't give me, and I don't send you money. Yes. You can't complain. But if you are greedy, you want to make money too, it takes two to tango. It means that they are also involved. In fact, there should be punishment for those who are asking and who are giving.
You think there should be equal punishment?
So that if they do that in those countries, nobody will. Even if they want to do it here, nobody will do it. Okay, you send nowadays they say you have computer to send this thing to people. I mean, you send message to somebody on computer, you give it some information, you impersonate some people, you raise unnecessary bill, say pay this bill. Because they have seen some other people's document and they just now send the bank transfer money to. How can they do that? There should be a ceiling of how much they could be able to do. I mean, I remember a case which involved I think Judah or something.
Is it Fred Ajuda, the billionaire fraudster 419?
Yes, I don't know.
One of the 419 guys.
Okay, this man buried a drum of crude oil in his backyard in this thing, and told the white man that he has seen crude oil. Come on, so the foolish people brought machine and started digging this. Is that not stupidity? Huh? This is fat. They are as well guilty. Then they will say, we lost 9 million, or we now lost 6 million. It's stupidity. So everybody should be punished. If you punish people here, nobody will answer you. I didn't force you. They didn't put gun lawyer here to go and transfer money. Yes. You went and you transferred the money yourself.
So the smarts and the gullible should be dealt with.
They should be, two of them should be guilty, instead of saying that, oh, Nigeria is full of Yahoo boys, they do this. I mean, the people on the side, if you defraud me and I defraud you, you are guilty. If I transfer, if you say that's money laundering. I mean, that's, you carry money to this man, you pay to this, and then you, no, it's simple.
But let's look at what it does to our image abroad. You look at what this FBI 80 is doing to us now. They caught 80 people who have done wireless fraud transfer and all that, and it's because of the Invictus guys fraud wiring case. And today, all Nigerians traveling across UK and some other part of the country, even part of the world, like America, they look at their passport, they check them, they put them on a special schedule to recheck and recheck and recheck. It's embarrassing. So what do you think this is doing to us, the issue, and how do we get out of it? The image smearing aspect of this Yahoo internet fraud stars and everything that has to do with it.
You are not stupid. You are brilliant. Stupid person cannot do Yahoo. You have to have some sense of brain. You have to multiply. Like I said, if there are punishments on both sides, the Yahoo will fail. There is a drug. If there is nobody to smoke, to drink, to take okay, there is no market. There is no market for it. It's not going to be. Okay, it's just like what I thought. This S-man you are talking about. Yes, it's no problem. If I don't eat cow, if they don't bring cow, they kill about 6,000 cows in Lagos every day. If nobody eats meat, they start to be eating chicken, fish, and so. It's because we eat cow. If we don't eat cow, the people now they won't be able to sell. They will carry back to where they are coming from. So when they say they carry AK-47, this and that, it's because you are buying cow.
To protect cow.
If you are not buying cow, people will not, they will stay in their areas and they will begging you. They won't, because it becomes it's true. Because they want to sell. You don't want to kill cow. You want to carry cow all over the place because you love them. You love the cow so much. It's because you want to make business. You want to sell.
We love the cow.
Yes.
In fact, let's quickly go to Ruga now. Look at the Ruga issue. Talking about cows. Suddenly, there was this Ruga that came out from something that we didn't even know about. Someone was saying, "Oh, Ruga is the same as livestock." Transformation scheme. You know, there was this national livestock transformation scheme that was under the office of the president. But now a lot of people now said, oh, Ruga is about getting some settlement, some areas in the 36 state for the Fulanis to rear their cow, and so that people can eat cow. And people said, no, this is something that could become dangerous for our cohabitation and for our cultural value and all that. So what do you think Ruga means to you? Is it as the same thing as national livestock transformation scheme?
We are we are getting afraid of what something that is not necessary to be. If I go to Onitsha now, you sell me lands. I say, okay, I want to pay 2 million for this land. Maybe the land is about 100,000. I say, I pay 2 million. Sell it to me. I sell it, and I carry cow there. And if you want to buy a cow, you come there and buy it and take it away. Or I can even be killing there, kill the cow there, and you come and buy meat, take the meat to the market. That is the purpose. That is what they call Ruga. I mean, I don't see anything wrong in that.
What do you mean, sir?
The only thing that I don't want, if the Fulani want to do business people, let them go and get a settlement where they are in any state they want to sell. After when they carry their cow, they don't keep them. They keep them all. If you are going to Osun, there's a place where you see goats and other animals there, which you go there to buy. That is Ruga. The animals are eating there, they are living there, they buy grass for the animal, they eat there. And that is that's the business. I mean, the government set that place over for them. The government provides market for you. You go and it's meat market or cow market. You go there and buy. That's all. That is where I look at Ruga. I don't know. Everybody got as soon as they say Ruga, everybody became afraid. Oh, this Muslim are coming. They want to become emir of this thing. They want to. What of the man who did the Oluwafiwo, who is an emir today? It's not by Ruga. He decided to choose himself to become. This is how life is. I think we are afraid of our shadow. You carry your shadow. If you this thing is following me.
But a lot of people are looking at Ruga. They say Ruga has some what can I call it? Some peculiar social implication that the Fulanis are just 25% of Nigerians. I mean, one of the 250 ethnic groups. That why should we give them undue advantage over others? And that it also has some political whatever. That it is the same problem in Jos South, the same problem in Benue, that they gave them land, and after some time they expanded the land and became more like a village, like a settlement. And after some time they started asking for political powers and influence. And they also relate the issue of Ife and Modakeke, that the Ife people gave Modakeke a land at a particular time in history, and after some time they took over the land, they became autonomous, and they were asking for political power, and to the extent that they are now even desecrating the Ife people now, looking at them as competitors, whereas the land that they found themselves was given to them by the Ife people. So a lot of historic anticipation, historic precedences have been looked into to argue against Ruga policy.
You see, when you look at the history of Nigeria as a whole, there are a lot of movements due to civil war, due to social crisis, and there. People move from another place to go and settle in another place, and then the place becomes their home. Let me tell you about that of Ife. I remember the then Oni of Ife. I went to him. I said, "Sir, that time they bought his hotel in Ife, so I went there to sympathize, to at least condole him. When I said, sir, what I would have thought is that you should have championed these people, make them local government, and they become Ife something, Ife that. I said, and then I gave an example. I said before, if I had one local government, Elisha had one local government. Now Elisha has 6 local governments. You have 4 local governments. Therefore, the allocation to Elisha will be more than that of Ife, because the allocation is per local government. I told him, I said, if you do that, I mean, you have to think progressively. You don't think of what happened 200 years ago and say, that's how it must be. I mean, you look at the pros and cons of the day. I say, sir, if you now ask for the people, 3 people from America, 3 from Ife, let them sit down together, prepare a memo. I will lead them to Abuja so that they will create this thing. I said that war will stop immediately. Because you beg issues. Sit on gunpowder, you begin to beg issues. That okay, this one, if I give in land, we expand. After if you give in land, you don't give in all the land. You give it a particular area. You give him one swap by. If he wants to extend to, he has to buy. He has to extend. He cannot force himself to other people. So I mean, when we look at the Igbo man says he's part of the owners of Lagos today.
Yes, sir. The issue of Igbo no man's land policy.
When they look at, that's exactly what they are talking about now. I mean, peacefully, nobody is going to feel. Why do you want to say Igbo? Because they are in Lagos, they will dominate the rest of the country.
Because when the election comes, they use their veto power to vote.
If we agree, there's nothing wrong in me going to Port Harcourt. If I were a politician, I want to go and vote him. I mean, they do that in Britain quite often. You look at you have a big political PC, you can send it to another where you feel you are strong. You send it to the other place to go and stand election. So it's not a new thing at all. It's same thing all over the place in the world. Because one of our biggest problems is that we recognize our tribe. We carry too much tribal something. In every form we feel, what tribe are you? What is your I'm Yoruba, I'm so. Why? Local government. If we exercise this tribe thing, we shall be one. When you look at the black man is a black man, whether it's Igbo, Hausa, or this thing. We have the same feature, we have the same thing. Why can't we integrate properly? I mean, if we have proper integration, this issue of this one is taking my land. If I have a land to sell, and someone comes here, he says it to me. I mean, if I have this land, I send it to him. If one comes here, I send it to him. He now owns that land. So why you see, we created the problem, and I said it's fear for known.
Fear of no?
Yeah.
Fear of our shadow.
Yeah, shadow. That is what is killing us. Because Igbo man is here. We are here. We are providing job for people. Even if it's a lower rank job, you have like the South African something today.
Yes, I was going there to xenophobic acts. The xenophobia.
Like I don't know. You see, that's another big problem.
Because people are being killed in South Africa, and people, I think the Yorubas are now running away now.
I read an article. Somebody just gave me an article today that what is happening in South Africa is not affecting every Nigerian or every foreigner in South Africa. It's affecting certain areas where they have turned to drug center. That these people sell drug to all the people, school children. Everybody is buying drug, and Nigerians.
The drug zone.
A drug zone. That is what they said that where they are concentrating on the Wahala. There are doctors, there are lecturers in South Africa that have nothing to do with this what they call. I mean, but all these facts we don't know in Nigeria.
But who is going to tell us the facts?
That's why.
How do we know the facts? Because all we see, we also see some South Africans that are talking about people taking their businesses, taking their wives.
Look at what is happening in Nigeria today. They are now attacking MTN, DSTV, ShopRite. Yesterday I was on traffic for over 3 hours just because they are attacking ShopRite down the road. And the people working there are Nigerians. The buildings themselves belong to Nigeria. The land belongs to Nigeria. Now you are killing, you are damaging vehicles belonging to your brothers in Nigeria. So, when you look at all these things, they say the same problem. Why can't we work over there? In fact, if you look at the policy, what these people are talking in those days, Nkuba, this man in Mali and the other one in they were
Tauri and Nkrumah, and all of them.
They were looking for integration of Africa. That we should be the same. We should be the same. We should seamless. I can go to Kenya and say, look, I want to stay here. I mean, like Europe, when the European Union, you don't need visa to go anywhere in Europe. From if you are UK citizen, Nigeria, you have UK passport, you can go to any European country with your UK passport without hindrance, without let or hindrance. That is the way it should be.
I think it should be a mind game. We should disabuse our mind about the difference in ethnic and in language, in country. We should deflate that ego.
I think that's true. We have emphasized our religion, our tribe so much. So much. The emphasis is too much. That is creating the problem we are facing everywhere today.